Welcome to a Friday edition of Open Tab. Fun. Hi guys. Hi Melissa. Hi Megan.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, I didn't do my intro. Open Tabs, where we cover the stories taking up space in our tabs, our feeds, and our brains. Okay, there we go. Um, okay, guys. We have a few things to cover and we're all busy. So as always, we're just gonna jump straight into it. First thing, I feel like the fun, marketing moment of this week has been Hailey Bieber and Gap's jean collab. In case you don't know, Gap just released a single pair of jeans. I think it comes in like multiple watches, but it's like one jean design with Hailey Bieber. I think they're calling it the Hailey jean. And the entire campaign has been like all about 1996, the year she was born. The commercial they did, it talks about analog and CDs and like digital cameras. And so not totally analog, but it's all about like a throwback to like 90s nostalgia and 90s media and selling her jeans. And this whole collab came about because I think it was a year ago, I want to say. She wore a pair of Gap jeans and like got papped on the street with them and they instantly sold out. So a year later, they now collabed with her on a pair of jeans. Megan, I wanted to get your thoughts because earlier this year you wrote a piece for MT Deco about Gap and their iconic ads going all the way back to the 90s. So I wanted to get your thoughts on the campaign.
Yeah, we kind of broke down the formula of what makes a Gap ad and what they've always done. And we identified that they often pair a trending celebrity with music and dancing. And then that's the ad. So for this, they had Hailey Bieber, obviously. And then they paired it with the Cranberries Linger, which also had a moment on TikTok last year. So they're bringing in like all of these things that are proven to trend in culture together, but there was no dancing. Haley didn't do any dancing. She just kind of put a song on the boombox. But I will say this is definitely going to bring back the CD player in a big way. I already saw that there's one on Urban Outfitters, and I was like, was this here before? I don't
Oh,
know.
that's funny.
Um, yeah, and Gen Z and Gen Alpha, I do think is interested in CDs,
They
kind of the
are.
same way that we are records. So I could totally see that being something that comes out of this of like we're all collecting CDs now. Um, but I thought that was an interesting departure to not have the dancing.
Megan, you're always on the nose because before I was doing this, I was working on our Monday Cultural Gems email where it's basically a roundup of all the things I think people should know about heading into the week. And one of the articles is about CDs having a comeback and that US sales have jumped 16% in 2026 so far. A lot of it is young people wanting to collect them. They don't even have CD players. They like collecting. And we've talked about that before.
Yeah. And also, we've seen the artists make this kind of a function of their product. Like right now, I have 4 copies of The Life of a Showgirl sitting upstairs that I have not opened because when Taylor Swift announced it, there was like a special edition where it came with the jewelry. And I hadn't listened to the album yet, but I was like, I'm going to be able to resell these, even if like I don't want them one day. So one day they're going to be worth a lot of money because they did sell out.
I love that. It's an investment piece.
Kind of. Yeah.
I think this is, I mean, so many thoughts. Like, I think Hailey Bieber, modeling for Gap and then selling a Hailey specific jean is so smart. Like, I want to try them on. The only thing that comes to mind
They're
for me is
sold
that
out.
she's pretty, are they?
Yeah.
She's also pretty tall and I'm short. So like, I don't know if it's like for a longer legs. Um, um, like, I think it's such a good idea. I think the marketing execution sounds really smart to me. I haven't actually consumed a lot of it. I saw like some of it bubbling up on Substack notes. I saw Emma's note. I thought your comment, Emma, about her like wanting her to like do her ballet, I think would have been like really smart and creative. Maybe she just
Mhm.
didn't want to do
I
it.
know. I
But
feel
yeah, like this is like such a smart move. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I posted a Substack note about how I wish they had tapped her ballet background, because she famously was, like, a pretty serious ballerina before she went into modeling, um, and I feel like ballet is kind of like an it girl thing right now, like, I have friends, here in Manhattan who are taking, like, ballet classes, like, instead of going to Pilates. Megan, are you
You
doing
are?
ballet?
Yeah,
Are you
I am.
enjoying
I love it. It's so fun. It's like bar, but easier and less intimidating. Yeah.
I'm, like, halfway there. I do bar, and I am obsessed with bar. So I need to do a ballet class one of these days, but I feel like
I
And
think
cheaper,
like
I will say. Ballet class is cheaper than a workout class. So that's another plus.
and I mean, the aesthetic is so cute.
well, I was just gonna say, I think it's like ballet aesthetic. I remember like even going back to like when what was that movie with like Natalie Portman and she was the ballerina?
Black
Oh,
Swan.
fun.
Black Swan. Like I remember that. Like I feel like every few years ballet aesthetic and like dressing comes back into like fashion. And I think like it's interesting that you say that too, Emma. Like I hadn't really thought about this too, but like even Ballerina Farm and like the way people talk about ballet, like again, I have a daughter who does dance, and a lot of the moms are like, oh, I really want my daughter to do ballet for like posture and for like how she carries herself and like the strength of it, how you can be both strong and feminine. I feel like is very like indicative in ballet, but also ballet does have like negative connotations too. Like it's also like body type and like there's
Mhm.
a lot of, it's interesting. But I feel like in culture, like ballet, it's funny to hear that you take the classes too. Like this is just I haven't heard of like adults taking it, but I can see that making sense and people wanting to do that.
Hmm.
I feel like it's connected to, like, the whimsy maxing trend that we've talked
Yeah.
about and written about. Like, it I've never taken one, Megan, so you tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it probably feels like tapping into a childhood memory. I feel like because so
Yeah.
many it's like you do ballet when you're little and then you drop out, and, like, returning to it as an adult for fun.
Well, so many, I mean, like, I was just reading, we were just at our house in New York, and like a lot of my childhood stuff ends up with Lucy. And like, she had this book that I had called The Silver Slippers. And it was like this book that came with a necklace on it. And it was all about this little girl who like didn't feel confident doing her ballet class. But when she wore the necklace, she felt like confident enough. And it really is one of those things. It's like horseback riding too. Like there's these like core things that I feel like millennials in particular were like fed. They were like seeds that were planted. And I remember like early memory of like when people would ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would say I want to be like a ballerina ice dancer. And I'm like, what? Now everyone says influencer. But that was like
Totally.
I just remember it was like when ice skating, like my grandmother would watch like ice dancing, like in the Olympics and stuff. And that was like the ultimate. And like so in my like childhood brain, like I was like, oh, it's ballerina ice dancers. That's like you know, that's
Well,
so
I feel
cute.
like it was like you knew, like, for millennials, like Misty Copeland and like Michelle Kwan, like they were like
Yeah.
celebrity ballerinas and like ice skaters. But yeah, going back to the Gap ad, I wish she had done that. I thought that would have been like a fun twist. And as we've talked about, And Megan always says like nostalgia is a little played out
Can I
now.
tell you though? I feel like people love nothing more to critique people who attempt ballet.
No, that is true.
So I can just like only imagine, like, I'm sure she might have been willing to, but like the pressure she would have felt to have done a routine for that and then not have been dragged for it kind of sucks.
No, I think you're right, Melissa. I
Like, I'm
think that
thinking back to Black Swan, like, the world was so hard on Natalie Portman, and she really did train allegedly for that, and, like and she had a stand-in I think she had a stand-in, and, like, you're just never gonna, like, win. There's people love to critique ballet.
yeah. No, I think you're probably right. One of the like a rising pop girl who I'm obsessed with right now, Adela. She was Dream Academy, which is like the reality show that the girl group Cat's Eye was birthed from, and she was eliminated because she said she was like too much of like a individual, and they're like, we can't make you work in a girl group. And she totally was. Like I was like, yeah, she's like such a soloist. And she is from somewhere in Eastern Europe, but she trained hardcore like Russian ballet like her entire life because she's like, that's what you do in Eastern Europe. And I knew I wanted to be a star and on stage. And in my little town, that was like the only avenue I saw to like make that a thing. But now she's like a rising pop star. And her stage performance integrates a lot of ballet. Like she's literally on point for like half of it and like
That's so
very
cool.
so cool and like very alternative. Her tights are all ripped up. She's wearing a black tutu and like a hot pink backwards baseball cap, kind of like you memes. Right now.
Because this hat, which I love, looks insane. It doesn't look this weird in real life. Swear to God, I look like Donald Duck. Like, I don't guys, I've been camping for a week and I have showered once and I am just like in the middle of the woods in nowhere, like holding it together. We leave in like 3 hours and I'm like, get me to technology. Like I'm on the edge of the camp. Like
Similar enough analog
notes from the
for you.
woods. What'd you say?
Enough analog. You're analogged out.
I'm analogged out. Like bring me back to technology. It's been great. It's just hard to be analog in a tech world. That's what
I
I'll
know.
say. Like it has
Okay.
you have to work for it.
Totally. It's funny. I was telling um Megan in our pre-call, I feel like a new status symbol will be like, can you afford to go analog? Because
Yeah.
like such a luxury. And it's
Guys,
basically
this week we're at this family camp. It's part of Cal. And my husband has gone his whole life. And it was always like an affordable vacation for families. Like that's what it was sort of intended to be. Not anymore. It's like thousands of dollars to do this. But like, and it is such a pain. Like you have to really work to do it. You pay for it and you like pack up everything. You get like this wooden kind of cabin.
oops. I think the woods might have caught up with Melissa's.
Someone should make that horror movie where it's just like you trying to work in a cabin in the woods and like there's no actual ghost. It's just like bad connection that sneaks up on you. Yeah.
That would be the
Um,
2026 version of Cabin in the Woods. Like that is like modern day.
corporate Natalie needs to star.
She does. That's so funny. I just sent Melissa an invite. If she joins, she joins, but no pressure. Another quick
Wait,
because
before I want to say one
yeah.
other thing about Gap. Um,
Oh yeah.
like so we're going into back to school season.
Mhm.
So they did, their denim campaign with Haley, and I feel like something they've been doing really well is kind of this like fashion girl angle where like they obviously like Gap is a like very mass market retailer. They're in malls and like they're for the everyday consumer, but they do these collections like Sandy Liang and Hailey Bieber to get people interested and get
Mhm.
fashion journals talking about them. So then it keeps them top of mind. So, like, this is a very interesting strategy because it's like the Hailey Bieber jeans are sold out, but she's now top of mind, and or Gap is now top of mind for Gen Z consumers who might pop into Gap and see what else that they've got happening. And so I'm like, okay, who are they going to do next? Because it seems like they're able to get whoever they want. So I feel like I'm excited for their holiday campaign because they're getting a lot of really great people and they're making cool stuff. They are going to sell out really quickly, but I'm like, who could it be? Because Gen Z Hailey Bieber for denim in the summertime like is so perfect. So I'm like, if you can get anyone, who's it going to be?
I know. I really feel like Gap, I mean, as you wrote in your article that you did for us a couple months ago, like they've always been such a staple. Like for decades, they've been a staple. I feel like in the past like 10 years, they kind of fell into like, kind of like, oh, it's like where you get basics, but like nobody was really
Yeah,
talking about Gap. It was where I got my basics, like if I needed a white t-shirt or something.
totally.
Like that's kind of the box I put it in. And then I feel like in the past like 3 years, they've really broken out and become I think they're like a cool girl brand. Like I feel like now you hear people say like, "Oh, I shop at the Gap." Like and it's kind of like a cool spot and not like I feel like it was in the same category as Old Navy. Like Old Navy is not a cool girl
Uh,
brand, you know, but Gap has been able to like outgrow that.
yeah, very true. I think it's the focus on quality. Like they still are like pretty good, decent quality when everything else is getting really bad.
Mhm. Um, okay, so that was a fun I loved that little journey we just took, um,
Oh, through the woods.
through the woods, and through ballet. And then the last topic, the second topic I wanted to talk about, we're gonna talk about it here live, and then it'll be behind our paywall later this afternoon when I turn this. Um, but I have not been able to, like, stop reading up on the Phia controversy.